Hey everyone, today we are going to create AI text using Ideogram AI versus Adobe Firefly. So let's go ahead, jump right in and get started. So first up we have Adobe Firefly, and the prompt that I use is Chrome iridescent bubbles. And as you can see, it did a great job. My Adobe Firefly text effect is always going to be perfect because that's how it was created. And these are the ideogram results. With this first one, I can edit this part out because this is not part of the text that I put. This did not create my name properly. Again, this is a cool style, but it is not my name. Once again, I mean, it created half of the name. If it had the capacity to actually perfect my name every single time, I would go with Ideogram. But right now, Adobe Firefly is definitely going to win on this round. Prompt number 2 is peaches in whipped cream. And once again, this looks so good. It definitely created a nice variation and put real peaches. So this looks amazing. And the great thing about the Adobe Firefly text effect is that I can download the pink version and then I can try to add my own 3D effects to it. So now it's a bit more work, but the good thing is I'm always going to have my name the way that it's supposed to. It's always going to be perfect versus ideogram. So you have to kind of go with the pros and cons. Okay, so now we're back on ideogram, and instead of making my name, it just put peaches and whipped cream. Uh, this actually looked really good, except it did add an extra E. Let's go ahead and check out the second one. This also looks pretty good. It did mess up my name a bit. It did not create any kind of unique type of text effect. I could easily do this with pretty much any program. Now this one is really good. I love the way this looks. And Marcy, okay, let's not even look at that one. Um, so I think for this round, I'm actually going to go with this one because I actually love the way that it incorporated my name versus Adobe Firefly. Now, I really do love the effect and the realism. I think for this round, I'm definitely going to choose Ideogram AI. I think this one turned out better, and I love the composition and how well everything goes together. Next prompt is brick covered in graffiti, and I think this turned out really cool. I love the teal color. It's one of my favorite colors, so I am in love with this design. Now in Ideogram, I did try to update the prompt a tiny bit just so that it could be a little bit more clear. So this time I put typography saying Marcy Noel and design style of brick covered in graffiti. So I think hopefully that will help a little bit. This one turned out perfect. So I do like that this kind of looks cool. It's on the brick. This one, the text did not turn out right. This one, half of it did, but I think that's pretty cool as well. And this one, once again. So this is the tough part about ideograms. Sometimes the text is not always going to be perfect. So you will have to spend a bit more time trying to recreate and recreate until you do get a design that will look exactly the way that you want, as well as getting the text right. So it's not always as straightforward as it is on Adobe Firefly. So I think for this round, Adobe Firefly is going to have to win again. So the next prompt is liquid honey surrounded by bees, and this looks really cool. Now let's go ahead and check out Ideogram. Okay, so this one turned out really good as well. It did get my name right. Got the bees, I got the honeycomb. This one looks really nice. Okay, it's starting to get a little bit better, I think, with me changing the prompt to putting the main text first and then the actual style of the text second. So that might be a good tip for people to try out. Okay, once again, my name is not accurate. Okay, and this one did get it right. Okay, so that's okay. Well, not really. This is an M instead of an N. So once again, it's like we're only getting about one of the four on average on Ideogram versus on Adobe Firefly. So I just wanted to zoom in on the text to kind of show you more of the details. So some of the bees look really good. Let's try to zoom in a tiny bit more. We can kind of see that some of these bees don't really look like bees, but overall the detail is amazing. We see the glossiness, we see the shape, the styling. So depending on the size of the graphic that you're trying to create, Adobe Firefly is going to create a higher resolution than Ideogram. I just want to show you some of the depth and the reason that I think, once again, it's going to be easier to edit the Adobe Firefly images just because you have a higher pixel rate than with Ideogram. Okay, next up we have tulip petals and liquid blue water, and I think this turned out beautiful. I love the colors. I love that it showed different tulips. I love the variation in the tulips, so it's a great option as far as trying to create an artistic design. Let's go ahead and check out Ideogram. Did not get my name right. This one did get my name right. I guess it tried to create a reflection. I don't really see any defined tulip petals. This one would have been a pretty design, but it did get my name wrong. I mean, it did kind of get the Marcy part, but this extra letter right here, I mean, I could easily fix it in Photoshop, but everything else is inaccurate. This was kind of close, but once again, it's not getting it right. So Adobe Firefly is going to have to win again. The last prompt is microchips and neon computer parts. This looks amazing. I love it so much. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. So the details on this one is amazing. Let me just kind of slide through so that we can see all of the unique parts that it created. I mean, this is perfection. I love the way this turned out. So let's go ahead and check out Ideogram. Okay, I have high hopes for this one. So this actually looks really cool. It was so close to being perfect. If only it had that one extra L. Oh man, that would have been perfection. Okay, this has the extra L the first one needed, but I can easily fix this in Photoshop. So, oh, this one looks really cool as well. This one just put the first name. It's so interesting. Oh, okay. Another one that's missing the L. This one is kind of tough because I do like the different styles. The neon tubing has that kind of neon LED light effect. I do like the composition of these. These are really interesting. So I think, so if I'm going to decide who is going to win, to be honest, I think I'm going to have to just go with Adobe Firefly on this one. I know the text is going to turn out right every single time. And then with Ideogram, text doesn't always turn out right. And now with both of these programs, both of them are not available for commercial use. So they are great for like social media content, promoting yourself, or any kind of personal use. So you do have to keep that in mind. And if you are going to use Adobe Firefly and you do have Photoshop, of course, you have Generative Fill, so you don't even need Midjourney. You can create your own background in Photoshop with Generative Fill with Photoshop Beta. And with Ideogram, if you keep regenerating the image or even remixing the image, then hopefully eventually you're going to get something that's usable. So they both have their pros and cons. If you want more of a consistent image and quality, I would definitely have to go with Adobe Firefly on this round. I think once Ideogram kind of perfects the process that they have, then I think we can take another look at it. But for right now, Adobe Firefly is the winner. All right, guys, you can let me know in the comments who you think won, or what are the pros and cons that you think one has over the other. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.